What's up, guys? This is Casey from Casey's Customs, and in this series I am building a hot rod truck for under $1,000. And in this video we finish up the patina, we do some mechanical work, and we also go over the budget. Let's get going. So, if you were watching last week, you saw that I did the patina, added some paint, sanded some paint off. I purposely sanded down to bare metal in some spots to get some rust to come through, because I wanted to match this roof up here and this hood. I love how it just has a little bit of surface rust, but that isn't really working like I wanted it to. There's just not enough bare metal spots. Really, I just did a little too much body work. I probably should have done less. Instead of grinding all that down, since I kind of already got it how I like it, I bought some of this metal effect paint. I don't know if anybody's ever used this before. I never have, but I know people who have, and they love it. It's pretty cheap too. I think it was like 35 bucks, something like that. And this is basically metal shavings in paint form. Heavy leaded paint, and we can roll it on however we want. The only bad thing about it is it's super dark, obviously. Now it will rust, so you gotta keep that in mind when you go to paint it. Basically, you can't just paint the whole truck with this and then hope the spots you want to rust, will rust. No, it doesn't work that way. This will always rust. It comes with an activator that basically makes it rust within 30 minutes instead of waiting, a couple days or, spray with a garden hose, whatever. This is real acidic shit, so that helps a lot. But I want to go on here. I really want some surface rust on the tops of things. Top of the cowl, top of the fender, even some up here, roof, etc. I want to add some of that. So we're going to experiment with this shit together because I've never used it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It needs to dry for like an hour or two. It's super late. It's like midnight, so I figured it'd be a perfect time to put this on, let it dry overnight, and then we'll check in the morning. So let's mix it up. It feels like pudding. It's like so thick. Okay, so have you had your rectal check this year? Goddamn, that's sexy. Okay, so from the videos I've watched, you can roll this stuff on just like you would a normal paint, but it looks cooler kind of with a brush, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna probably do a little bit of both. Oh my gosh. Look, it's literally like pudding. Look, it won't drip. It doesn't drip. Oh my God, I hope the camera can catch that because that is amazing. I don't know why that's amazing to me, but I like it. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna plop some in here, and I think I'm going to roll it in my real, big areas like the roof. All of the roof basically is gonna do this. A lot of the cowl, and then I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna take a sponge since I don't have a paintbrush. I'm just gonna kind of run a sponge along the edge of it, and that should kind of streak it like you would have rust. Oh my gosh. See how this shit works. It won't, it doesn't even roll on the fucking foam. What is this shit? It smells like paint. It doesn't look like paint. Look at that. Look at that shit. Ugh. Oh, okay. That's actually not bad. Oh, wow, it's real grippy. Oh, wow, that's crazy. It almost, I don't know, that could be the foam. That could be the foam in the roller too, but it's going on weird. Okay, all right, let's see what happens. What's crazy is it's thick like pudding, but it goes on super thin. Like, look how thin it is. It's like see-through. Now, granted, I know you do a couple coats, but that's wild how like see-through that is. I mean, crazy. We shall see. I'm definitely gonna have to do a second coat. Okay, so I put a very, very light coat. It's crazy how light it goes on. Like, look, you can see through it. That's actually 2 coats. So that's wild considering it has the consistency of pudding. I didn't think it would be so thin, but it is, which is cool because, you know, if you mess up, it's easy to fix. But I got it everywhere I want it. The only reason it's not on all the way on the roof because I already have it there. That's what I want to mimic. What I'm gonna do now, so that it doesn't look like it just has brush lines, is I'm gonna go here with a sponge, like I said a little bit ago, and I'm going to kind of blot it on and then, you know, kind of streak it down in some spots so that it just doesn't have rust would never just stop in a hard spot. Like, see how it's on the door, it kind of drips down and shit like that. You can tell just by looking at stuff that's already rusted, it's a lot darker in certain spots than other. Well, what that's gonna be with this shit is basically a thicker coat. See how I kind of did it on here? Like, I made it thicker in the middle and then thinner the farther it goes out so that it's not just solid rust everywhere. I really don't want that. So let's go in here with this and kind of drag some of this shit down and blotch it on there so it's not so perfect, basically. We'll do that for the next hour. All right, I got it everywhere I want it. I made sure to leave 1/3 of the bottle left, 1/4 of the bottle, whatever it is, just in case I don't like any of it. I think I could probably put it on a little bit thicker, but I'm gonna let this dry completely. It's a little cold tonight, so it's not drying as quick as it should, but I'm gonna let all this go. I kind of love it. If it rusts like I think it's going to, I'm gonna be super happy. But I got some paint left over just in case it's fucked up or it needs to be thicker. You know, maybe we spray it on here and it's just barely rusted and it doesn't look right. We can add some more. We're gonna let this shit sit overnight. Hopefully it dries because it's supposed to get cold tonight. But hopefully it dries and we'll take a look back tomorrow. That's what you do when you're waiting for paint to dry. It is the next day. Everything is dry. It dried very well. It kept the grit from the sponges, if that makes any sense. See how it's kind of grippy, if that makes any sense. But it looks great. Now it is time to put the activator on it. Pretty sure this is probably just like a peroxide, because you can actually make metal. You know, you can make it rust yourself with like peroxide and vinegar, but this is their special shit that comes with their paint. So I stole a spray bottle from my wife. We're gonna load it up and start spraying some shit and see what happens. So, sprayed it, put a super heavy coat of that stuff on. I actually used it all, even though I have some of that paint left. I can use peroxide and vinegar though. That's basically, that really works better, to be honest with you. Because this stuff isn't flash rusting very fast. The times I've used peroxide and vinegar, it rusts like almost instantly. So, I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna leave it outside. It's gonna take a while, it's gonna take a couple hours. So we'll check on it later on today and see what happens.
Much later.
I hope this shit works because it'll look perfect. But I'm kind of getting nervous. I would have thought it would have started by now, but we'll see. Maybe I didn't put the shit on thick enough. I don't know. We're gonna find out. So it's rusting a little bit, but not as much as I want. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw the rest of the shit I have. I got like another 2/3 of it. I'll go ahead and pile it on because it seems like it likes it when it's thicker. I guess there's more metal in it. And then we'll see what happens. See if it doesn't rust a little bit more. Also, I knew it was dark, so I figured I might have to throw some white over the top of it. But if the rust fills in, I can kind of get away with the way it is.
Lot of boring math later.
Did a heavy second coat. It's definitely coated. We'll see what happens. I'll let this dry, then I'll probably shoot some vinegar on it or peroxide. Getting nervous. Because it did not rust like I thought it was going to. So, this is taking longer than I wanted to, so we're bringing out the big guns. We're gonna make this bitch rust ourselves. I got salt somewhere, a little bit of Coke, or salt, sorry, salt, definitely not cocaine. And we're gonna mix all that out, spray the shit out of this thing. This, I know will work because I've used this before. So, let's do that. This is straight vinegar first. So while that shit is drying, I'm gonna pop a wheel off because I'm getting ready to order the steel wheels I'm gonna run. I wanna run a steel wheel with a Baby Moon hubcap. They're like, probably gonna be 50 or 60 bucks a rim with the hubcap. So it's gonna put a big dent in our budget. But the good news is the stock Lincoln wheels, people actually really like those a lot. So I should be able to get at least 200 bucks out of the stock wheels. So hopefully that kind of, basically hopefully it's just a trade out where I don't have a bunch of money in it. But I want to double check. I'm 99% sure what these wheels are, but I want to double check a couple things. So I'm gonna take a wheel off, I'm gonna jack it up, and I'm gonna look at my turning radius on my front, because I think I might run a different offset front wheel to kind of help with turning because it's so low. But let's do that real quick. Man, I got a bad ball joint. So I got my rim off, and I know what I need to order. I basically just need stock rims, just to be a little bit, I want them like an inch narrower in the front. That'll give me a lot more turning radius, and it'll be fine. They're actually okay the way they are, but I'd rather have a little bit more if I can. Our vinegar is completely dry. The first thing I sprayed on there was just straight vinegar. And vinegar actually will rust metal on its own. But the big kicker, after the vinegar is dried, you do a couple, 2 or 3 coats of the vinegar. After that's dried, you do peroxide, a little bit of vinegar, and a little bit of salt in a bottle. And you let it, you want the salt all to dissolve, which this hasn't yet. But this, when you spray this on the vinegar, it will literally start rusting instantly. I mean, you can just watch it happen. So that's what we're gonna do. I did this on Big Bertha. I did this with her years ago. I haven't really done it since, but I remember spraying it and you can just watch it start forming instantly. It's definitely nice not having to, I think that other stuff would work. I think it works fine, but I think it's like a 4 or 5 day process. And I don't wanna wait 4 or 5 days to see if I like it. Because if I don't like it, I wanna know and I'll put some more paint on it. All right, let's see what happens. Look at it go. Oh my god, it turned instantly orange. Whoa, that's cool. It's really hard to film shit outside, but it just instantly turned. The thing is, it started running. I might have sprayed it a little too thick. That's cool as shit. The run look actually looks kind of cool though. So I got it exactly how I want it. It's perfect. The only thing I don't like is how it just starts in some spots. So I'm gonna come back in here with some white and just lighten that up. But I mean, it looks awesome. Perfect. Perfect. I got a couple little spots to do that, and then we'll take a look at it. Man, it looks cool as shit. So happy with it. Done. I sprayed it one more time to kind of, you know, make it not look so obvious where I put the new white on, and we should be done. But I'm going to give it an hour or two. I'm going to go work on something else, and we'll see how it looks when I come back. So far, I'm really liking it. Like, look how cool this fender looks. I mean, it just looks awesome. I'm so happy with how this looks. It came out perfect. So I've spent, I don't know, the last 3 hours trying to get it running. It's the worst video ever though. Like it's me laying under the dash checking wires and shit. It's horrible content. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, trying to get the damn thing running and still making a video about it, because it's boring. It's just me fucking checking connections. But I wasted 3 hours doing that, which sucks. But we do need to go over the budget because all this paint shit wasn't free. So let's go see where we're at on our budget. And I'm getting ready to order some rims. So yeah. Oh! Also, I'm going to put my eBay my eBay store in the description of this video. I've had people ask, what parts do you have left? I have some. I have quite a bit on there. The dash and stuff is still on there. So if anybody's needing a dash or a door or whatever, I have stuff listed, and it needs to sell. I need to get the budget back. So let's see where we're at. Spray paint. The last video I did was the grill. It was $100. Spray paint was, I had, I think, 5 cans. 28, 34, I got the receipt around here somewhere, but the vinegar and rust, though the rust paint, that black paint that actually rust, it was $29.97. It was a little kit, basically. If I was smart, I would have just bought the rust bottle and not the Activator bottle, because the Activator bottle was like 15 bucks. I could have just got 2 of the rust ones and been fine. The Eastwood Primer, that whole kit they send me, it's a huge kit. I didn't get that just for this truck. That's actually for, well, they sent it to me to try out, but that's going to be used on 2 other cars, my truck and then a 56 Chevy that's getting a full paint job. So that isn't really a purchase for this truck, but whenever I started this, I said I didn't want to do any freebies, because I don't like when guys do freebie shit and they say, oh, I only have, you know, $5 grand in my truck, but they're running a $25,000 motor, and they're like, well, the motor was laying around. It just had a turbo and a supercharger and a bullshit laying around. I don't like that. So what I did was, that kit is a $300 kit. I just took out basically what I used. I used roughly 15%, 10 or 15%. It might not even be that much, but either way, like I said, I don't want freebies and free bullshit. So the value I used was 45 bucks. We add all that shit together. We are at $12.31 spent. $5.53 is what we've sold, which puts us at $6.78. So we're starting to get there. We still have a long way to go. Still have glass, wheels, shit like that. I still need seats. Gonna need to find some buckets because I can't run a bench. So still have a long way to go. But like I said, luckily I still have some stuff to sell. I have the dash, the doors. It's just some little knickknacks for it here and there. But that is where we're at as of, I think this is part 20. So 20 weeks in, $6.78. I don't hate it. It's a good looking car for under 700 bucks. Thank you very much for watching. I am extremely happy with how this came out. It looks exactly like I wanted it to. I went ahead and put a little bit of clear over the top of it just to seal it up so that the rust can't be removed, and also, you know, it doesn't get all over you whenever you bump up against it. I'm very happy with it. It has hid all of my cuts and welds perfectly. You know, this cowl, you know, we extended this cowl like 6 inches. It's really hard to see that now. It just kind of, you know, just looks like a normal cowl. So I'm very happy with that. I said it earlier in the video, but if you didn't catch it, I'm going to be putting my eBay store in the description of this video. So if you're looking for any parts for this old Ford, I have them listed there. I have a dash and a door and a couple other things. They need to sell because I need to put some money back in the budget, because we're going to be spending a lot of money here soon with the rims and the interior and whatnot else I need. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good shit they tell you to do at the end of videos, and check out some more of my other videos. Peace.
Sitting like a boss, bring the workers out. Press on the exhaust, we be skirting now. No, we not the same, what you talking about? Got me all up in your mentions, must have heard around. How that